Hi everyone, and welcome to the lovely Tea and Tarot Tuesdays, which has been hosted by Love and Crystals. I haven't been on here for a few weeks. I've been busy with other things, but obviously I just wanted to jump on here today. If you haven't seen the Tea and Tarot hashtag challenge that the lovely Love and Crystals has set for us, all the details of that will be in the description box below. And you know, if you jump on board, then it makes friends and connections, and the little tribe starts to keep on growing basically. And this week, through Brandy's shout out of my channel, there was a lady on there that a couple of ladies that I've subscribed to who I hadn't heard of. So this is how it goes. It's a bit like a tarot Mexican wave. Okay, so please do get involved on it, and all the information will be in the description box below. I've got my little bit of a squeeze of lemon in just hot water this morning. Okay, so nothing too exciting, but what I wanted to do was give a shout out to Falling Stars. Okay, she's in the Tea and Tarot Brigade, and she was doing a giveaway for those in the US. Okay, and it was mainly that she was giving a deck called the Dream Decoder deck out, and I purchased it from what she was sort of showing and discussing about it on her channel, because in July I'm going to be doing the Dream Oracle readings. Okay, the backdrop is going to change again, guys, because if you've looked at my June 2020, I went with the mermaid themes, but that's all been stripped back bare. And next month I'm just going to quickly show you the material that I'm going to be using for the backdrop. I'm going to be using this lovely material here, okay, and it's got dream catchers on it. If I hold it that way, maybe, yeah, hold it there. It's absolutely lovely material, and dreams are really important. This is what was leading into my conversation this morning. Dreams are really important, and we do get messages, and it's very hard sometimes to remember our dreams. Some people get repeated dreams. Okay, I remember one years and years ago where I was in an old manor house ground. It was like sort of half lived in and half sort of dilapidated mansion, okay? And I was walking through the halls of this manor house, and I was looking at the paintings on the wall, and I could see myself in a painting, but from years before. And I just remember it switching to me sort of being outside, and there was a graveyard, okay, and I remember like looking at the gravestones. It was a bit like a thing out of Scrooge, if the film Scrooge, where there's half, you know, it was like a half topped gravestone, and I sort of peered into it, and the next minute I was falling down, and I had that dream, and it was a repeated dream, and I would have been in my sort of late 20s, early 30s, and I had that, you know, reoccurring night after night over a period of weeks. And I just felt it was a message for me, not to keep revisiting old ground, and I needed to move on basically. So it'd be interesting today if any of you could put any comments below regarding any dreams that you've had over the years, or if you're having dreams now. But yeah, this is a 60 cards to unlock your unconscious, okay, Dream Decoder. And I just want to quickly show you the cards, because even though they are dream state cards, as Falling Stars channel said, Falling Star, okay, she said you can use them normally within a normal reading. So I'll just quickly show you these to start with. They're quite very pastel shade cards, okay. So this one here is saying paralysis. I can't remember. Paralysed, as in paralysed, okay? Paralysis. I am so bad with words, guys. You wouldn't have thought I got my O-level English, would you? Many moons ago, but there you go. Paralysis. That's it, I said it, paralysis. See, my brain has to get into gear. So it gives you then a sort of, on this one for instance, dreams in which you can't move or speak can cause great anxiety. The simplest explanation is that you feel helpless and trapped in some aspect of your life. For some reasons you're unable to move forward, perhaps because you can't decide on the best course of action. If you're disabled in a dream, or a wheelchair or a disabled person appears, this may reflect an aspect of yourself that's struggling to express itself or realise its potential. Perhaps you're lacking confidence or have ambitions or goals you feel are beyond you. A situation might not have worked out as you'd hoped. Alternatively, someone may have hurt you badly in a way you might not even have acknowledged to yourself. If your immobility results from being weighed down and heavy bags, this is a sign of taking on too many responsibilities. You might need to say no more often or ask others to help. Okay, paralysis. I said it, guys, paralysis. And I've never really had that kind of a feeling. I know some people I've spoken to before have said they felt like, you know, they couldn't literally move. I've had the falling, you know, the literally where you feel like you drop, your body sort of jumps when you're in bed. And I don't know whether any of you, you know, it's quite a common one really. But I do feel that sort of when you're, you know, you're going into that conscious next realm of sleep, you know. But yeah, so they're really being unprepared, look, showing a situation of there, somebody sitting in an exam. But they're really cute cards. I just thought they were really in-depth cards on the back. Oh yeah, look, falling. Okay, let's have a look then, guys, because this is the one that I really, you know, can take on board with. But it says falling in a dream is a clear sign that some situation or relationship is out of your control. It's unlikely to be significant whether you fall from a cliff, roof, plane. I thought that's, I've got to put a comma there, look, roof and then plane, but you know, the roof. Falling off the roof of a plane, yeah, be a bit of a bad one, that one, wouldn't it? But yeah, fall from a cliff, a roof, plane, building or other high place. Whatever the precise scenario, you find yourself with nothing to hold on to. You have no sense of stability. The key theme of this dream is insecurity. It may be that you see no solution to your problems, for example, low self-esteem, have too little support, or have a strong urge to escape a challenging situation. If the latter, the dream may be warning you to take control before you become too reckless and make a serious mistake, as in the popular expression, you're heading for a fall. There may also be sexual associations, perhaps a strong desire to succumb to sexual urges with a risk of damaging consequences. We'll say no more about that one then. But yeah, I had that a lot, so as I said, we'll move on swiftly, but no. So yeah, these are really, I thought they were really interesting cards. So I'm just going to, you know, oh, that was another one. I used to dream about your teeth falling out, and that's a really common one as well. And I'm just going to quickly read this one. Teeth falling out. Teeth falling out may suggest fear of ageing or feeling unattractive or unappealing in some way. It can also symbolise fear of losing something or someone important to your emotional or material survival. After all, without teeth you can't eat and nourish yourself. The Tooth Fairy Association links this dream with money too, so there may be a reference to financial concerns. Teeth are symbols of viability or sometimes power, hence this dream might suggest you feeling neglected, frustrated, overlooked or inferior in some way. Maybe there are basic actions you ought or want to take but can't because you're ill-equipped. It could be that this disturbing dream scenario wants to shock you into having more belief in yourself and being more assertive. It's also worth noting that in Chinese tradition, teeth crumbling or falling out is associated with telling lies or not being true to yourself. Oh, that's quite interesting, isn't it? Not being true to yourself. But I am going to share a little story here. I'll just go and flick through these cards before I do that. But yeah, guys, if you haven't seen the Dream Decoder, these are the cards that I will be using, okay, being at school, in my July 2020 reads for the Dream Oracle messages, okay. But what I wanted to say was, when I was little, I'd only just started school at the age of 5. I actually went to nursery for one day, guys. I couldn't, it made me ill basically. I can remember it now. I was 3 years of age, and they had like a little church hall where I lived, and all I can remember is they were putting chains on the doors because it was on sort of a main road, and all I can remember is thinking, I'm in here, I'm locked in here. It was a dark room because it was winter time when I'd started in the September, and it was a gloomy day, and it was a dark church room, and all I remember, this woman was trying to shove Play-Doh in my hand, saying, oh, actually it wasn't Play-Doh then, I don't think even Play-Doh was even born, okay, as such. It was plasticine. Oh man, plasticine in strips of colours. We got that. They used to have like a fork mark down them, from my memory, but the smell, I can still remember that smell, guys. And yeah, I just literally was crying, thinking, I'm locked in here, I'm here forever. And I remember there was a lad who used to live 2 doors up from us. He was a little bit older than me, and I remember him trying to come over, because obviously being neighbours, do you know what I mean, he obviously knew who I was, and he was like trying to, I remember him saying, it's okay, your mum will be back later for you and everything else. But when you're 3 years of age and you see a big door with chains on, and on that night, because my dad used to run his own business, okay, and my mum sort of helped out a little bit, and I remember on the evening I had nightmares. I was standing apparently on my bed, and I obviously got my eyes closed, but I was doing this action. My dad said to me, he said I was doing this. I was like just pressing my hands, and I was going, no, I don't want to go. And anyway, my dad said to my mum, look, she's not going to school until she needs to go to school. It's your responsibility. My dad was a bit old-fashioned. It's your responsibility. You'll have to, you know, look after her and do some teaching here, but she's not going there. And my dad was really put his foot down, bless him. And so I didn't go back to nursery. And I remember my son, bless him as well, he's 28 this year, but I used to work. I only had sort of 2 months off after having my son, and I was straight back into work. It was a horrible time, really. It was a nice time, okay, but it was a sad time, because when my son was born, 4 weeks after, my dad had a heart attack, and he just, you know, it was sudden. He was out and about driving at the time, and fortunately he was at some traffic lights, so he was stationary at the time, and he had a massive heart attack and just passed away. So I'd just come out of the hospital 4 weeks prior to having my son, and then I was going back to the hospital, going to identify my dad. And you look back at the time and you think, how did I do that? But I went into autopilot, I did, thinking, you know, my spirituality kicked in and thought, yeah, you know, okay. He wasn't, you know, he was only early 60s, wasn't a great age, really. This is going back, obviously, 28 years this year. But I went into autopilot, and it's amazing what you can do under times of necessity, really. So yeah, that was, like I say, a bit of a shocker, really. But that led me even more onto the spiritual path. You learn as you get older, you move on, but they say you do move on, but you never forget. All things that happen to you in life, you never forget. But I just wanted to put that in there today, because we've all got our crosses to bear. We've all had things happen to us, you know, not so good in our lives, and mine's nothing compared to some, obviously. But I just wanted to put that out today, and that is why I was so drawn, because every month I seem to be getting drawn, guys, to doing certain themes. So, Falling Stars channel, forgive me for your name, because I'm not sure of your name, but I will find that out later. But yeah, you directed me to that deck, which I purchased. You also directed me to this one, Andrea Smith Enlighten Up card deck. These are quite hard to get hold of, and I think there were only 2 places in the UK that I could find these. There was somebody on eBay selling them for £178, and I went, what? But luckily I didn't pay that much. I paid $18.99 for these. I was lucky to get them for that price, because, as I said, if you look on Amazon, I don't think they're even, you know, they were sort of about 40 odd pounds they were asking for sellers from there. But again, through Falling Stars channel, I was so drawn to this deck, Andrea Smith Enlighten Up card deck booklet. Okay, it's just a little black and white booklet, but as I say, it was the cards, and I am just going to flick through these. There's not many of them actually. There's only about 30 odd cards in here. I can't remember how many it says. Let's have a look. It usually says it on the back, doesn't it? 34 original paintings. So let's just have a quick flick through these, okay? But I absolutely love these. They're a little bit quirky, but it was the colours. It was the colours that I liked. Me and my art, you know what I'm like, guys, with my art stuff. But forgive me, look. They were just really, really bright and happy. And I just thought I'm going to use these with my Dream Decoder ones for next month. I'm just going to quickly go through these, so you can just have a look at some of the artwork. But yeah, isn't it strange? Like, I always think dreams mean something, and I've had scenarios where really bizarre dreams where I've been like in a street in olden times in the 50s, dressed in 50s clothes and things like that. And I always think to myself, and then I had a lovely dream. See, I'm going off on a tangent now. I'm on a tangent tea and tarot Tuesday, but I had a dream, and it makes me think now. I was in a beautiful garden, absolutely beautiful gardens, water running, a massive big white sort of palacey type building in the background. Everybody was happy, and I thought to myself, is that part of like the previous, you know when we, our spirit, when we die and we move on and we transcend, is that one of the dimensions that I was picking up with where I've been before? And it really, really, when you start to analyse your dreams, you start to question, is this other dimensions that I have actually, my spirit has already experienced and been in? Because I do feel very, very strongly that there's more to this universe than meets the eye, and people are starting to awaken and realising that we shouldn't be living in fear, we shouldn't be slaves to society. We need to get that balance right. But yeah, so that's another deck. That a big shout out for the Falling Stars channel. Bless you, my lovely, because I purchased those from your little videos. Okay, nice person, lovely soul. So what am I going to move on to next? Yes, she says, oh yeah, June 2020 reads, you would have seen, if any of you have looked at your star sign, the journals. Okay, I had the Mermaid's Mirror Journal. This is a shout out now for Ikalesunflowers, B, because I know she loves her journals, and I did say to her I was going to show her my journals that I'd purchased. So B, you would have seen this one anyway, the Journal of the Mermaids, because I do like my writing, as you know, and my poetry and my art and everything. So I purchased this one, which you've all seen. If not, then check out your star sign on my channel for the June reads. But I also purchased, to go ahead with the July reads of the Dream Oracles, because I ranted and raved about the artist being Tony Carmine Salerno, okay, best-selling author of Gaia Oracle, and that obviously matches up with this. But I bought this journal, okay, and it ties in also with the cards I used in my June reads, which I'm just trying to see if I can, grab hold of. Okay, same artist, Tony Carmine Salerno. Sounds Italian, that does, doesn't it? I must do some research on that artist, but yeah, the journal encompasses his art, well, her artwork, because it's spelled T-O-N-I. Is that a female's pronunciation? I think it might be, but as I said, I've got to do my research on this artist. So B, I don't know, you like your journals, and anybody else out there who's the same, but I am going to be using this in the Dream Oracle reads in July, again, where you just flick through, there's little poems on the bottom, and I just absolutely fell in love with this artist. Very, very pastel, soft art forms on their paintings, what they do, and their drawings, obviously. And I just wanted to flick through these, okay. you see, look, it's like pastel. You know, I've used pastels in some of my things, but very, very delicate, but very, very, just like simple, but effective. I mean, look at that. How beautiful is that? So this will be showcasing, guys, in my July reads. Okay, oh, I absolutely love that one. Beautiful. So that was another thing I wanted to show, along with these books by the artist. And I am going to read you this introduction. This is the Inner Light one. And like I say, they've got obviously the cards, the oracle cards, you know, the sets of cards. But you can use these books as like an oracle read, because they have got, look, well, I keep saying he, could be a she. Well, I'll say their artwork on the pages. And then they've got sort of an affirmation of what, you know, whatever you land on. I flicked through this morning and I landed on that for me, for the message for myself, imagination. But again, it's so, you know, nifty that you can just flick through, okay, just flick through. I could be saying, okay, I'm reading for my lovely tea and tarot gang who are going to tune in today, and I'm going to stop where I think, and I'm going to stop on that page. I'll turn it over. Music of the soul, guys. Okay, look at the picture. Oh man. So we've got: an angel surrounds you with wings of light and is here to remind you that there is more to life than your achievements and possessions. She is here to help you reconnect with your inner true self, which is unique, brilliant and sacred. Through this reconnection, the music of the soul is heard. It is a symphony that fills the entire universe. I reconnect with my true nature. I am unique, brilliant and gifted soul. This I that I am is internal and infinitely beautiful. That was a bit of an hard mouthful. This I that I am. What kind of English is that? But yeah, but it's a lovely book, and the introduction to this, let's have a quick look. This was key to me when I read this. I think everybody should listen to this. So I am going to do a little bit of a storytelling now, an introduction to this book. May this book inspire you to look within. You can use it as an oracle by opening it randomly at any page, or you can initially read it through to the end if you prefer. My hope is that it will help you view your life from a higher spiritual perspective, and also help you to become more aware of your true spiritual and creative nature, which is unlimited and transcends both time and space. One of my guiding principles is that we are all essentially energy, an intelligent creative energy through which all is interconnected. There are many names given to this energy, but regardless of the name we give it, I think we are all referring to the same thing, a universal force which stems from the very heart of all creation. In this book, I refer to it as inner light. It exists within me and you and every blade of grass. It is in the air, the trees, the oceans and streams. It is within sunlight, in the stars, earth and sky, and even exists within darkness. This inner light, however, is visible only through our inner vision. It is a light that understands us, but cannot be understood by us, because for the time being at least, it is beyond our capacity to understand it. It can be felt, it can be sensed, it can guide us and give us hope and comfort. But only if we have faith, only if we trust, only if we are open-hearted and open-minded. This little book is not here to connect with your inner light, for you are already connected. It is simply here to remind you to look within and discover that you are so much more than you have been told you are. Your inner light is your true nature. It is not your body, it is not your mind, it is the true and eternal you. With love and eternal blessings, Tony Carmine Salerno. And that just spoke volumes, you know, that little bit of wordage there, what they have put in. And as I said, just beautiful, beautiful artwork. Okay, and like I say, I've purchased about 3 or 4 decks from this artist now. And then I bought this one, which matched up with that journal I showed you, The Sacred Heart of Trees. Okay, and again, here. Oh, well, look at the back, about the artist and author. Wow, it's in my hands all the time. Let's have a quick read then. So it is a male. My art is beyond words. It requires no thinking. There is nothing to understand. There are just colours, feelings and emotions that are felt in the heart. An open heart is all that is required. There is no particular meaning. Each work may trigger something in the viewer, or it may not. Each work is simply above love. Tony Carmine Salerno is the author of many books, meditation recordings and oracle cards. He is also an artist who paints intuitively, creating works that are infused with a timeless sense of love. Born in Melbourne, Australia, to Italian parents, I always write a little bit on the Italian then, guys. The work of this internationally acclaimed self-taught artist and author and his publishing house, Blue Angel Publishing, continues to have a significant and positive effect on people's lives around the globe, connecting people and cultures through the universal language of love. You can find more by visiting, obviously, his website. But yeah, so it is a male, look, male who's done all this. But like I say, I just, you know, when you just feel connected to something, and I was so connected. So I'm going to do the same with this little book, guys, for the Tea and Tarot gang. Just flick through and see what I land on, see what we get. I'm going to go with this one. A wound is the place where light enters you. Okay, so some of us out there could be having a tricky week then this week, being as we've had this one come out. You know, a wound is the place where light enters you. So healing, I'll pick up healing from those words. So it's saying, you know, that we do get wounded, we do get let down, you know, we do, especially with things that are going on at the moment, we are a little bit, you know, uncertain, a bit fearful as well. Some of us, you know, maybe worrying about other people, but it's saying here, you know, light will always give that healing, and, you know, wounds, you know, healing time. Yeah, we've always got the scars there and a reminder, but we do move on. It's like anything in life, I think, you know, troublesome times and things. We have the tower moments, don't we? You know, I always look at, you know, when things are not running right, you know, I class them as tower moments in our life. But it's to move us, keeps us moving, keeps us transcending. So if any of you are feeling a little bit low vibrational this week, or you are feeling a little bit hurt or wounded by people around you and their actions, then, you know, just know to sit and allow the light to come in and give you that healing. So yeah, so I wanted to share those with you, okay? It's all good, guys. See, I haven't been here for 3 weeks and I haven't stopped rattling yet, but I hope you're still with me, and those who are, thank you. And the last little thing I wanted to show and share with you was a little deck. I'm not really one for little oracle decks, you know, it's a bit out the norm for me. I had the Sea Melodies one that I incorporated in my June ones, little one word cards, okay? They're dinky, they're $9.99 from Amazon. But I used these and I thought they were really good, tied in for my June reads. So I went on the search and something popped up, and it was a little deck by Priestess Moon, Making Magic. Okay, there's a version of this coming out, I think, in September, when I saw on Amazon, in a circle form, a lot larger than these, but same kind of principle. But I like these. And it says how to use the cards. Use these cards to boost your spell work, or carry a chosen card to achieve your goals. Lay out your cards, light a candle in front of you, and focus on the desired outcome for excellent results. But I'm going to be using these little cards in my July reads as well. And basically what it is, it's symbols. Okay, star. The silver energy of the star brings good luck and serendipity. Okay. I never know how to pronounce that word. Awen. 3 rays of light. Balancing male and female energies, peace and harmony. Okay. 555, Trinker 5, manifesting money and income. So they all have little meanings that you can incorporate into your readings. The festival creates an energetic blueprint for a fantastic party or event. Now, wouldn't that be nice with how things have been? You know, we haven't been able to even go out for a meal or anything. Okay, if you've got family who you live with, then you can make your own little parties and everything else, which a lot of people have, haven't they? But things are getting better, guys. Things are slowly starting to come back to a bit of normality, and I reckon here in the UK, sort of middle of June, shops will all start be opening again, and things will start moving along, so fingers crossed. Little Luxuries generates luxurious experiences and surroundings. Okay, so they're very, very tiny cards, but they have got these, you know, little sort of one word, couple of words meanings on their Tree of Life. Look, true wisdom and making good choices in life. Philosopher's Stone. There were all these symbolisations on them. Okay, Goddess, healing feminine energy. So while I've got them out, I will do another little shuffle and see what we've got for the Tarot Tuesday, gang, or anybody who tunes in today or whenever listens to this. Oh, don't want all that many out, do we? So it's all right, guys. If you look at my nails tend to grow quite well considering, but my thumbs tend to cut off. They're split. Okay, and look at, it's down to the quicks, and they're so sore at the minute for shuffling. I'm not really one for bonding false nails on. I went through a phase of that, and as nice as they are and everything else, I had a really bad experience where it sort of it was pulling the actual layer off my nail bed, and I thought no. So I'll see. I'm seeing me today. Look, I'm off on a tangent. Tangent Tarot Tuesday. But you all, those who are regular know where I'm like a bit of a wild one at times. Right then, let's have a look. Love charm. Attract a love, soulmate and life partner. So I just want to go with the love aspect on it for the guys in the Tea and Tarot this week, or whoever's tuning in. Spread the love around, okay? But saying that about the lovers and soulmates, that was a big key thing for June. It was a big, you know, influx of people sort of coming across and aligning to their soulmates and twin flames. So that was that. One more thing I want to just see, I'm here, I'm not gone yet. One more thing I want to share with you was, because one of these prompts was about old resurrected decks, and I was tidying some drawers out the other day, and I was just going through the drawers as you do, and I thought, what's that in the bottom of there? And I pulled out this Oracle deck, and I'm thinking, I can't even remember where I purchased it from, how long I've had it, and whether any of you guys have got it out there, because I know a lot of you have got decks. And it was, the answer is simple, Oracle cards, a 62 card deck by Sonia Choquette. I'll hold it up, you can read it yourself. But yeah, and it's like, they were quite sort of, not cartoonish, but they had this sort of, well, you judge for yourself what you think, okay? Childlike, that's what I want to say, like a sort of simple, childlike. It's definitely been published by Hay House, because you can always tell their boxes, can't you? Yeah. And this is a little guidebook in it. Okay. Proper Hay House productions. But I just want to quickly show you these. Okay. Let go and flow. Reach out. Say I'm sorry. See? A bit like cartoony type. Unusual for me to have bought anything so simple formed, you know, because I like quite a lot of depth to my cards, like those tiny ones that I was showing you earlier. They're all the intricacy of those cards. These are just quite sort of straightforward. Say no, look. Say yes. Lend a hand. You know what I mean? Like, it's not an emergency. It's like, you tell, like, it's like those. I'll tell you what it reminds me of, and I'm going to show my age now. And mainly for people who live in the UK. You could go to holiday resorts like Blackpool. I don't know. I'm not well travelled. Blackpool, you know, all like the Scarborough, the main seaside, Weymouth. You know, I'm on about the UK now, but I don't know whether over in the States or wherever. Years ago, I'm looking in the 70s now. You used to go in the, like, Wales especially, because I used to have a caravan. Well, my parents had a caravan, and there was a little shop in Wales that sold all those like little Welsh dolls and everything. And there was always a postcard stand. Wasn't there, where you used to send postcards while you were away on holiday. And they used to have those funny postcards, like a bit like the Carry On postcards. You know, funny, like, I'm not say smutty, but there was like some like sexual aspects to some of the cards. If you're in the UK and you're around my age group, you'll know where I'm coming from. B, I'm sure I'm going to put it, I'm not saying like you're, you know, I'm not sort of slating your age here, but I know you would probably know what I'm on about, and you probably have a giggle about that, but yeah. So I've got that kind of on some of these cards, it's got that some kind of that theme to it. But I just wanted to flick through these. So if any of you use these, I've never used them, guys. I think what it was, I used to be in this Mind, Spirit and Body book club in the UK back in the late 80s, well, early 90s. I think it was in the 90s. It doesn't operate anymore, and I loved it. It was absolute. I was getting into my spirituality. I was getting into my tarot cards, and every month you could, they sold some absolutely brilliant things, books and journals and diaries and, a poetry witch heaven. But yeah, but they're nice cards, and maybe I will use them in my dream oracles. We'll see. And there's some really nice messages on them as well. That had a weird. I feel like a weird feeling when I hold them as well. It's just, I feel like they want to take me back to. Some of them want to take me back to my childhood, like that one there. Very, very inner child type of artwork, really simple. But yeah, if any of you have got this deck, I'd be interested again. Any comments underneath? And I'm not really sure when it was even published. So another bit of homework for me. So my lovely people, I hope you are all doing well and keeping safe and everything, and trying to enjoy this lovely weather, especially what we've been having here in the UK. I like that one. That's me. Love your body. Okay, regardless to whatever. But yeah, I hope you're doing okay, and I hope you've enjoyed this little bit of a rambling. I hope you like the intro, because like I say, Brandy, you're on there because I remember you saying never seen a face, never seen a face. There's reasons why I have to keep my identity a little bit under wraps at the moment, which I won't go into here, but there is a reason why I can't sort of be full on camera, but not because I'm shy or anything, but it's just for personal reasons, really. So that is why I hide behind the screen, but I have put a little snapshot on there, so I am a real person. I'm not a robot, okay? But lovelies, it's been a pleasure, and I want to put another big shout out to V, because if it wasn't for V and her, hats off to her, really, because I mean she's self teaching her kids, okay? She's got a lot on her plate, and I don't know where she gets all the energy and the vibrancy from, but she's brought this tribe together and it's growing. And I want to say a big thank you to everybody who subscribed, and I will try and subscribe to anybody who comes on board, like I did yesterday, because Brandy shouted out a couple of people's names, and this is how we all help each other. So I'll raise my cup to you, my lovelies, and I will look forward to the next Tea Tarot on Tuesday. So take care. Bye then.